Beautiful. All right, guys. So this week is volume week. So we've been doing a lot of big breath holds, been doing a lot of hypoxic exercises. So we're scaling back and we're starting again to aim to build up to another peak in a month or two time. We'll just play it by ear and see how you guys are all doing. So today we are going to be doing 20 breath holds, but none of them will be longer than 2 minutes. In fact, they will all be shorter than 2 minutes because every 2 minutes, you have to start a new breath hold. So for example, if you hold your breath for 1:30, it means you have 30 seconds to breathe before the next one. If you hold your breath for a minute, it means you have 1 minute to breathe before the next one. So you are in complete charge, like you're in charge of how much recovery you have, how much recovery you give yourself. So it's up to you, just feel it out. I think it's best in these kind of exercises to find like a comfortable time that you can do repeatedly. Many breath holds. But in general, we're going to be doing 20 breath holds and we're going to be holding our breath for around 40 minutes. Not continuously, but almost continuously. Now, these exercises are really, really good for developing comfort with an urge to breathe, for developing a tolerance to CO2, especially if we're, because we're not going to be doing long breath holds, but we're certainly going to be getting an urge to breathe because ideally you'll be holding your breath long enough and giving yourself a small enough recovery that, you should be getting a pretty early urge to breathe. The other thing is that doing a high, I suppose volume is something that has in the past been quite underrated in freediving. I think people have been aiming to do let's do a big breath hold here or a few big breath holds here. But there's a lot of value to take away from doing several, quite a lot of breath holds, doing a high volume of breath holds of a low to moderate intensity. So today we're doing, only 2 minute intervals. So I would describe that as a low intensity. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing it at 3 minute intervals. I would describe that one as a moderate intensity. So we'll build up, like we usually do. We start the exercise at a certain, a easy, cruisy pace, and we ramp it up, or we develop comfort, move, progress on with it. So once again, just at no point in time should you be experiencing an urge to breathe or experiencing a breath hold that is uncomfortable. It's okay to experience the urge to breathe. It's okay to have contractions, but you need to be totally comfortable doing it. You gain nothing by having uncomfortable breath holding experiences. It is all about constant positive associations. And then as time goes on and the more we train, the more, we naturally can just hold our breath longer and it's still totally positive the whole time. So I have had a request to go over tidal breathing and the final breath again. So I'll quickly do that and then we'll get into the exercise. So tidal breathing is effectively when we are breathing. The best way to describe it for freediving is breathing as if you were trying to fall asleep. The thing is that when we're diving before a breath hold, or especially while we're doing static breath hold, we are totally immobile. So all we need to do is breathe to match the oxygen demand and the exhalation demand in terms of the CO2 of the body. And so when the body is at rest and we're all just sitting here relaxing, we do what's called tidal breathing. And that is just a constant, shallow inhale and exhale. Roughly, if we were to map it out, we'd say, you inhale, exhale half a liter of air per minute. Sorry, half a liter of air per breath. And you inhale and exhale roughly 15 breaths per minute. But I think it's we all breathe differently, and there's no point in trying to create such an extensive map about this. It's usually best to just breathe as if you were trying to fall asleep. Just really soft, really shallow, really slow. And I can see everyone there, so I'll be watching your bellies or your chests move. And if I see people I'll just hey, Ivan, slow the breathing down. You know what I mean? I'll just say it to you guys. And for those of you who do have black screens, you're welcome to have a black screen, of course. It's just that if I can see you, I can give you feedback. And if I can't see you, I can't give you feedback. That's all. So it's totally up to you. We do have several dark horses in a training group that do not like being seen. So it's not a drama whatsoever. So that's our style of breathing before a breath hold. We tidal breathe. We breathe as if we're trying to fall asleep. We actually don't want to breathe at all because we know that it is carbon dioxide that allows us to hold our breath for our maximal period of time. So carbon dioxide gives us the urge to breathe, but it also allows us to hold our breath for a long time. So we don't want to get rid of all the CO2. So we'll be sitting here, we have to start a new breath hold every 2 minutes. So you will, you finish your breath hold, you do 3 strong recovery breaths. And if you have time to do some tidal breathing after that, do some tidal breathing and then bang, straight into your next breath hold. Because we're just doing 2-minute intervals, there's no need to do any type of hyperventilating today. For those who are new, we do some form or some levels of controlled hyperventilation with static breath hold. If you keep training with us, I'll do a proper explanation of that and how we do that when the time comes. But for now, definitely no need to hyperventilate to hold our breath or within a 2-minute bracket. What was the other thing? Oh, and the final breath. So the final breath is effectively like the parameters that I always use, I like to set for people is that you inhale as much air as you can, or you inhale as deeply as you can while remaining relaxed or without losing or compromising any of your relaxation. And, I mean, that's the same for everything we do in freediving. You hold your breath for as long as you can without compromising any relaxation. You dive as deep as you can while remaining totally relaxed. You inhale as deep as you can while remaining totally relaxed. So what we are aiming to do is to fill up, starting by the stomach. So we start by pushing the stomach out as far as it will go and inhaling. And then when the stomach is full, it's really important to relax the stomach, to let the stomach just go. And then you can start to move on into the intercostals and the chest and then be full there. Now, we all have different anatomies. We all, some of us will be able to inhale deeper into our stomach. Some of us will be able to inhale deeper into our chests. Some of us will have tighter stomach or intercostal muscles. So after a full breath, when we're all full, we might feel a bit of tension or fullness in the upper chest. We might feel a bit of tension or fullness in the stomach. So much of it is to do with our anatomy. I think the key is after taking the final breath is that if you're too uncomfortable to hold your breath comfortably, you've inhaled too deeply. But we also do know that, for the first few breath holds, the final breath can be you can have that really full feeling. And then as we go on, that feeling goes away as the muscles warm up and become more elastic as they're warm. So, let's do it. So we always start with some, a breathing warm up. So what we're going to do now is 2 minutes of breathing just into the stomach. So we're going to focus on.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna mute you. You sorted it out. Good man.
Yeah, actually, I connected via my laptop, and there was some issues with the audio, so I connected via my phone. So that's why you were like,
"Oh, good. You made it." All right, so 2 minutes of breathing just into the stomach. Let's start now. Just close your eyes if you like. You can put a hand on your stomach if you like. Do this breathing with your mouth or your nose, doesn't really matter. Just pressing that stomach out as you inhale. As the time goes on, you can start to really push the stomach out as you inhale. This breathing warm-up is very much about getting some movement and some blood flow into your respiratory muscles. So it's okay to be a little bit vigorous.
Should we try to push out air out of our stomachs, or just passive exhale it?
Just a passive exhale.
okay.
Relaxed and passive. You can be laying down or sitting, doesn't matter. Thirty more seconds. 10 more seconds. Good. All right. Now we'll do 2 minutes of breathing into our intercostals. So aiming to push our intercostals out as we inhale. So we're trying not to lift the chest. We're trying not to push the stomach out. We're trying to just push our intercostals out to the side. 2 minutes down. You put your hands on your intercostals. Beautiful. 1 more minute. Once again, the aim is to get a good amount of movement into your intercostal section. Isolate the muscles in your intercostals. Move them out as we inhale and relax them in as we exhale. Twenty more seconds. Good. All right. Move on to the chest section. 2 minutes of chest breathing. Once again, focused on the movement. So bring the chest forward as we inhale, relaxing back as we exhale, passive exhale. We do this breathing warm up for a few reasons. First is so that we feel comfortable when we take that final breath and we're able to take in a larger final breath after having done this warm up. And the second is because warming up the respiratory muscles like this can make it much more comfortable to have contractions. 1 more minute. Keep breathing nice and deep into that. Beautiful. All right. So now we'll do 2 minutes of full breaths. So when we do this, it's good. I suppose we're aiming to do it like nice and slow and controlled. So inhaling as deeply as we can while remaining relaxed. So 2 minutes of full breaths, starting down the stomach. going, taking in those nice full breaths. "45 more seconds. Just breathing. "20 more seconds. Time to get in one more final breath. Slowly do it, the more control." Good. Right. Good stuff, guys. Let's do a few stomach vacuums. So stomach vacuum is when we suck the stomach in. So the first one we do just on a passive exhale. So we do a passive exhale and then suck it in and then just hold. Second one, we'll do a forced exhale. Force the air out at the end after the passive exhale. The third one, we're going to do a forced exhale, and we're going to massage down. We're going to press down our rib cage like this with both of our hands. Good. And the last one, we do a forced exhale, and we're going to massage up. We're not going to do any pulling, don't pull anything out. Just press up on the underside of the muscles there. Good. All right. So let's get ready to hold our breath. Woo-hoo. So get yourself to a breathe. Yeah, woo! Yourself to your breath holding station, wherever that is going to be. If you have a nose clip, feel free to use a nose clip. Ideally, you are laying down for this. This will be much easier and better for you if you're laying down rather than sitting down. All right. So once again, what's going to happen here is every 2 minutes, we have to start a new breath hold. So you decide when you breathe, which means that you decide how much recovery time you have before the next breath hold begins, which will always be at a 2-minute interval. So, I'm just going to pull my phone out so I can mark down like how many have gone past. Otherwise I may lost. Okay. All right, guys, now relax. You have 2 minutes to breathe. And I'll be counting you down to when you should take your final breath. We want to take our final breath or finish that breath just before I basically say 0 before we reach the 0 mark. So we're tidal breathing, relaxed and shallow. Breathing as if we were trying to fall asleep. Just letting every part of our body relax. Just shaking off any tension, making sure every joint is disengaged. Good. 1 more minute to breathe. "30 seconds. "20 seconds. "10 seconds, getting ready for that final breath. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The first hold has begun. Just remember that after we take that final breath, we immediately shift our attention down to our stomach, making sure our stomach is totally relaxed. And we move our mind slowly up through our rib cage, relaxing our rib cage. We move our mind up to our chest, making sure our chest is disengaged and relaxed, and there's no tension there whatsoever. The mind then moves around the back, making sure that our back muscles are relaxed, our shoulder blades, our shoulders, our neck. All the muscles that surround our lungs have no tension in them whatsoever. It's been 1 minute so far. 1 minute already. One minute 15, 45 seconds remain. One minute 30, remain. 140. 150. 10 seconds until the next breath hold. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin the next breath hold. Taking in that final breath, relaxing into that feeling of fullness, moving our mind to our stomachs, relaxing that stomach. Moving our mind to our diaphragm below the stomach, relaxing the diaphragm. The mind moves up to the intercostals, and the intercostals disengage and relax. We hold no tension whatsoever in our chest, no tension in our neck, in our shoulders, in our shoulder blades, in all the muscles that run along our spine and our back. Just remember that we have 20 breath holds in this workout. It's been 1 minute already. So there's plenty of time to build up into some bigger breath holds or breath holds where we have less recovery. It's okay to start relaxed and slow and let your body ease into it. 1:15. One minute 30 seconds remain. 1:40, 20 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds remain. I'm getting ready for the next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have begun. Moving our minds through all the muscles that surround our lungs to make sure they are all totally disengaged and relaxed. With the high volume of breath, you'll find it easy to fall into a rhythm. Breath hold, breathing, breath hold, breathing. And when you're holding your breath, try to let yourself just float. Float up into the air or sink into the floor. Let yourself lose perception of where you are. It's been 1 minute. It's been 1:15. It's been 1 minute 30 with 30 seconds remaining. Twenty seconds remaining, 1:40. 10 seconds. And we begin our next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have begun. Relaxing all those respiratory muscles, settling into the feeling of fullness, floating, sinking. We hold no tension in any part of our body. It's been 1 minute already. One 15. It's been 1:30. 30 seconds remain. 1:40. 20 seconds. 10 seconds remain. 1:50. We're starting our next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we begin. Relaxing that stomach, moving our mind into our bodies below the stomach. Right there at the bottom of our ribs sits our diaphragm muscle. And we can relax it, we can disengage it. Often it can be a little bit tense after we do a deep, full inhalation because we press the stomach out and we push it down. Just make sure that the stomach is allowed to be loose and pop outwards slightly. That will mean that the diaphragm below is relaxed as well. Make sure the intercostals, the muscles around your rib cage, are also relaxed and disengaged. Chest muscles up the top as well. It's been 1 minute already. It's been 1:15. That's been 1 minute. To remain. One minute 40, 20 seconds. 1 minute 50, 10 seconds. And we're getting ready for that next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we begin. Inhaling as deeply as we can while remaining totally relaxed. This is breath hold number 6. Try to find that happy zone, that happy time frame that you can consistently reach. We should be aiming to reach a consistent time and give ourselves a consistent recovery, each one of these breath holds. But we need to build up to that time slowly. So by now this is the 6th breath hold. The dive reflexes should be engaged. You're all warmed up. You should be able to do that. Good. That's been 1 minute already. That's 1 minute 15. That's 1 minute 30. 30 seconds remain. One 40, 20 seconds remain. 150, 10 seconds. And we are beginning the next breath hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun. Let's make sure all the major joints in our body are carrying no tension in them whatsoever. Sometimes when we experience the urge to breathe, we can unknowingly tense up parts of our body. So while we're here, take a moment to make sure our ankles are relaxed. Take a moment to make sure our knees are relaxed. Taking a moment now to make sure our hips and our groin area is relaxed. Our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists, and our neck. It's been 1 minute already. That's 1 minute 15. That's 1 minute 30. 30 seconds remain. One minute 40, 20 seconds. 10 seconds, 150. And starting our next breath hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have begun. Let's just all take a moment to make sure our throats and our mouths and our jaws are relaxed, not clenched, not holding on to any tension. One minute has passed already. That's 1:15. That's 1:30, 30 seconds. 1:40, 20 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds. And doing our next breath hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have begun. Moving our mind to our stomach, relaxing the stomach, allowing the stomach to pop out slightly. Moving our mind to our diaphragm, relaxing the diaphragm, allowing the stomach and everything around it to feel loose. Relaxing our ribs, our intercostal muscles, around our back and our front. Relaxing our chest, our shoulders, our neck. Relaxing the muscles in our face, in our jaw, in our head. Our head should feel heavy and it should just sink down into the floor. It's been 1 minute already. That's 1:15. That's 1:30, 30 seconds remain. 1:40, 20 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds. And getting ready for breath hold number 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun. So 10th breath hold. allowing your entire body to sink into the floor or float up into the air. Lose perception of where you are. And get lost in the repetition of breathing and breath holding and breathing and breath holding. It's been 1 minute. That's 1:15. $1:30, 30 seconds remain. $1:40, 20 seconds. $1:50, 10 seconds. And starting the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun breath hold number 11. Just remembering that it's okay to experience the urge to breathe. It's okay to have contractions, as long as we're totally comfortable with the level of urge to breathe we're experiencing and the level of contractions that we're having. That's been 1 minute. $1:15. $1:30 left. $1:40. $1:50, 10 seconds. And getting ready for the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun. Losing ourselves in the rhythm. Final breath. Relax. Float. Sink. All the muscles relaxed. That's been 1 minute already. That's 1:15. 1:30, 30 seconds left. 1:40, 10 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds. And getting ready for the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breath hold number 13 has begun. Over the hump. This is number 13 already. If your throat's starting to get a little bit sore from holding all the air in, then you can press your tongue against the roof of the mouth. And that will allow you to open up your throat and let the air push up against your nasal cavity. You do need to be wearing a nose clip to do that though. One minute already. $1:15. 1:30. 30 seconds left. 1:40. 20 seconds. 1:50. 10 seconds. And getting ready for the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. This one is hold number 14. It's been 1 minute already, guys. Good work. 1:15. 1:30. 30 seconds remain. 1:40. 20 seconds. 1:50. That's 10 seconds left. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath hold number 15. 3/4 of the way through. Relaxing that stomach. Relaxing the diaphragm below, underneath. Relaxing all the muscles in the front and the back of our rib cage. Relaxing that chest. Settling into that feeling of fullness. No tension in the throat, the jaw, the mouth, the face, the head. It's been 1 minute already. That's 1:15. That's 1:30, 30 seconds left. 1:40, 20 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds. Getting ready for the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun. That's been 1 minute already. That's 1:15. That's 1:30, 30 seconds remaining. 1:40, 20 seconds. 1:50, 10 seconds. And getting ready for the next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. This one is breath hold number 17. That's 1 minute already. One 15. 1:30, 30 seconds left. 20 seconds. 150. 10 seconds left. And beginning number 18 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. We have 3 more left. If you did want to start to extend yourself and challenge yourself, now would be a great time to do it. Otherwise, maintain that consistent breath hold time that you found. It's been 1 minute already. $1:15. That's 1:30. 30 seconds left. 1:40. 20 seconds. 1:50. 10 seconds. Getting ready for this. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we have begun. Second last breath hold of the series. Allowing ourselves to drift. No tension whatsoever in the body. None at all in the stomach. None in the groin and the hips. None in the intercostals or the chest. No tension in our necks, our jaw, our mouth. Nothing in our face or our head. Our shoulder blades are disengaged and relaxed. That's been 1 minute. $1:15. $1:30. 1:40. 20 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. Last one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. On this last one, we'll still go no further than 2 minutes. Just relax. Let your body sink or float and lose perception of where you are. feeling of fullness inside your lungs is comforting and reassuring. That's been 1 minute. $1:15. $1:30. $1:40. $1:50. And everybody breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back. End of the living. Open your eyes. Well done. Very nice. Guys, how was that?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Loved it.
Good.
It was intense.
Whoa.
Oh, definitely. You know, you think, oh, you know, not going to hold my breath for longer than 2 minutes. This is going to be fine. And it's like, whoa, really, you can really make it a workout.
I found so many things to work on there.
Yes, that is, Jeff, that is so what I wanted to hear, because when you do so many breath holds all in a row, you find so many little things like, oh, this is how I'm taking my final breath. This is how I'm holding my body after, you know, when I begin. This is what I do with my body when the urge to breathe begins. There's all these little things that you just find when you're doing like repeats on that scale. I was hoping someone would say that.
And the new sensations, you can feel the body of taking charge of the relaxation, and
Yes.
you can always play with that, and it's a good memory recording for the.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I think
really-
sorry?
I had really found it good to focus on the recovery breaths.
Yeah.
And getting those controlled so that they're most effective. And the subtle sensations of the first initial urge to breathe, the little ones that I would overlook and wait for the bigger ones. Yeah, I found focusing on the smaller ones very effective today.
Yeah, and the bigger ones didn't came because you have focus on the small ones and you're delaying it. Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
that's right. You know, Ivan, you know how you always hear me bang on about postponing the urge to breathe, how you can push it away? That's what that is.
Yeah.
Like when you first feel the tiny little butterfly kicks in the stomach, the first initial sensations, that like when you catch those, that's when you push them away or postpone
Yeah,
them.
the feeling is understanding and I don't know, the sensations just lose your grip on the mind, on the controlling the mind and the body, and just lost it. And 30 minutes has passed. Okay, let's go again.
That was 40 minutes of like continuous breath holding, that one.
Ooh.
Wednesday is going to be an hour.
And the first one feels really long, but actually the last ones, I was like, I actually can hold a little bit longer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I could see a gap of 30 seconds from the first urge to breathe in the first 3 breath holds, like, and then I was getting the first urge to breathe up around like 1:30. So there was a 30-second gap in, you know, just being relaxed in the first contraction.
Definitely. I mean, the fact that the dive reflex also sort of slowly engages, the more breath holds you do, will also help. So you can, I suppose, like, we've always got to keep in mind that the first, like, you know, 2 to 4 breath holds that we do will be without a dive reflex or with a less engaged dive reflex. So, like, you know, the urge to breathe comes earlier. it all feels worse. But yeah, certainly after doing 20 bloody breath holds, you should feel pretty good. Oh, cool. Awesome.
That is the least I've ever moved through all the breath
Yeah.
holds. That was
Yeah,
another
yeah,
thing on just
and the stillness is stronger. The stillness.
But, but like, do you think that's because you knew that you were never going to be doing a long or challenging breath hold, and that you could focus on different things? Because I think that, because obviously we've all done exercises where we've done 40 minutes of breath holding. But there's probably a little bit more jittering and moving around in between them. Does that make sense? You know, I think like that, like this is all like, cruise your breath hold stuff today. You just allow yourself to just chill as opposed to fidgeting or being anxious or worrying or anything along those lines.
Yeah, less worry.
Yeah.
I felt the dive reflex more effectively.
Mhm.
Dive effects.
I felt mine come on real late. Like my urge to pee didn't hit me until the last breath hold, and usually I'm like 4 breath holds and I'm peeing.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Well, I'm happy that everyone likes the volume work.
The volume.
Yeah, volume is important. Cool. All right. Do you guys have any questions or anything about anything at all? What about our dark horses down here? We've got Marie, always the black screen. Functional you, Lauren. How are we doing?
Hi.
I loved it. I felt. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
it
was
really
late. I just kind of jumped on.
All right. How about we get Lauren to go first, and that way we can all.
Oh, good. Hi. Yeah, thanks so much. I came from the Melbourne Freedivers group, and I've never done anything like this before. And that was a really interesting experience. And I noticed that around number 13 and 14, it definitely got easier. It was strangely easier. And then for some reason, towards the end, I couldn't do it anymore. I don't know whether I got fatigued or something.
I would say that your dive reflex started to engage strongly around that 13 mark, and then.
So what's the dive reflex? Sorry.
So there's just a few we call it the dive reflex, but it's not necessarily a diving reflex. They're just sort of like your body has an adaptation to the stresses of breath holds, and they engage upon breath holding. So your heart will slow down, all the blood will move from your limbs to your core to conserve oxygen and make less carbon dioxide, so you won't get the urge to breathe for as long. And there are a few other things, but for what we're doing today, those are the two main things that happen. So in general, the more you hold your breath until the point of fatigue, obviously, the slower your body uses oxygen.
Right. Oh, no, it was very interesting. So is the next session going to be more of that again?
The next session that we do on Wednesday will be this, but extended. And then on Friday, we're going to be doing an exercise where we learn how to postpone or work on postponing the urge to breathe by doing no breath hold past the point of the very first desire to breathe.
Okay. I might not be able to make the next one, but I can come to the Friday one. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I'm just going to keep posting these in the Melbourne Freedivers group as long as you guys lock down.
Okay, thanks.
Pleasure.
Adam, if you can just highlight that, what's the key area we focus in this kind of volume thing compared to what we do it like doing a personal best for like 4 minutes and then, moving on for another 4 minutes? Like, what's the key area that we strike compared to that kind of exercise?
So I suppose it's a bit of a broad question, right? So I suppose depending on the diver and what you're doing and where you're up to, you could be focusing on any number of things. But the reason that we're doing volume now is because so by doing such a high volume of breath holds, we are able to sort of like as Jeff was saying before and as Ivan was saying before, we are able to direct our attention onto many different individual elements of our breath holding. And these senses, like we're referring to the ability to take a final breath and be relaxed is a skill, right? So it gives us lots of time to improve and work on our breath holding skills. And then actual in terms of like what we're working on in the body. So this style of breath holds that we're doing, we are getting more comfortable with the urge to breathe, and we are working on our tolerance to CO2. So being able to hold our breath for a longer period of time without experiencing the urge to breathe, and doing a high so. Here's another way to think about volume. To cause an adaptation in the body, you need to stress the body, right? So if I want to increase my body's tolerance to carbon dioxide, I need to put a lot of carbon dioxide in my body and say, hey, get used to this. Now, if we do a style of breath hold where we go, okay, cool, we're going to do 8 breath holds, each of around 2, 3, 4, or 5 odd minutes, we're usually spending a lesser period of time with elevated carbon dioxide levels than we would if we were to do an exercise like this. Whereas, you guys were mostly holding your breath for over 1.5 minutes for each of those breath holds, which means that for 40 minutes, you spent the entire time or most of the time with elevated carbon dioxide levels, which is going to force a reaction in the body, or force an adaptation in the body.
Got it.
I often talk about doing hypercapnic swimming or hypercapnic walking. We've done that in the past, where we just walked and breathed every 5th or 6th or 7th step. It's the same kind of thing. It's a low or moderate intensity exercise, but it just keeps high carbon dioxide levels in the body for a long period of time. And getting insights into your life now, seeing people coming in and out of the room. How'd you go, Marie?
Well, the first 3, I did not have a pattern. It was kind of hard at first. And then after that, I found my pattern. And then once you said on the 18th to go a little bit harder, I decided to. So I did go longer for the last 3. And I felt that maybe I can use this for the full training that I started doing.
Yeah,
that
for
I
sure.
go the 25 meters, but then I start taking my time for the next 25 meters. But I think I need to time myself then. I'll give myself like the 30 seconds and then start the next lap, and then 30 seconds and start the next lap. I'll start doing it like that.
Yeah, and then just work your way down depending on how it goes.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. All right. Any other thoughts and feelings or insights?
Yeah, is this carbon dioxide somehow related to your the way you're thinking? Because in the beginning I was super focused on the exercise, but at the end I was more relaxed. So in some of points I was thinking about just being under sea. So it brings me back like images about being under the sea, but it also brings me things that I need to do tomorrow, for example. So it made me think a little bit more.
So carbon dioxide, when you have high carbon dioxide in the body, it has like a narcotic effect on the brain. So usually elevated CO2 levels for a long time will make you feel kind of docile and drunk rather than focused.
Yeah.
But maybe you have a very special brain and that has a very special effect with carbon dioxide. Maybe
There's masks on.
housework,
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, have a wonderful evening, afternoon, or morning. Catch you all on Wednesday, or if not on Friday. And any questions in the meantime, flick me a message, and I'll see you all very soon.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Brad.
Bye.